Hey, what's up, guys? So, I'm on my last quote of the day. Going up to the opposite side of the county, literally the most opposite side of the county, west of Palm Beach County. Now I'm going all the way northeast of Palm Beach County. So, this one is a property. The daughter, her father, I don't know, she said she moved in with her father and is going to be staying permanently, and he needs a lot of work done. I pulled it up on Google. It's a really big property, nice house, so I'm going to do it in person. And that's a little bit what I wanted to talk about. When you're in person, all right, so when I was doing this part-time, I did a lot of my estimates online, and I still do some of them. And I just wanted to point out that the odds of me landing a job when I go in person estimate are much greater. I mean, it's probably like close to a 70% close rate in person. Let's say 60% close rate when I'm in person. And then it's down to like a 40% when I'm doing them online. So, you get more, but that's just it. Like today I didn't have any jobs lined up, so I made today just strictly for estimates. And I don't know, I'm liking the way that works. So, but some people obviously they need this stuff done yesterday, and it's not. I don't know, sometimes you gotta drop what you're doing, if you know what I'm saying. Like, if you know it's the right move, you gotta sometimes, stop what you're doing for a little bit to do an estimate. That's fine too, if it's worth it. But, how's everybody doing today? Who's in? What up, Christian? What up, Ron? What up? Same here. Yeah, better close rate in person, definitely. I don't know. When you can do it, definitely do it when you can, Not all the time, though. I mean, I know sometimes it just isn't possible. I guess it depends on the complexity. Also, when I'm in person, I tend to get a better, my average ticket price goes up too. Because you can tell them, like, hey, listen, your gutters are jacked up. If I'm doing the roof, the roof's the roof. If you want your gutters done, that's a separate service. Or the driveway, and I don't know, it's just kind of nice. You can pick and choose. I always try to scope out something that will take me literally 2 minutes and toss that in for free, just for the wow factor and customer retention. Spending 2 minutes to clean something, maybe 5 minutes, and it's going to make them so happy. It's so worth doing. I'm the biggest fan of that. You'll keep a customer forever. Like cleaning up. Like, I remember one time I cleaned up this lady's like back little, where her back door was. It was like this little slab of concrete. I mean, it was probably 2 by 3, and she was so ecstatic. So those are the kind of things you gotta do. But yeah, I figured I'd do another live just because I got probably, I don't know, 15 minutes of riding on 95 here. So I figured I'd shoot this up, see what everybody's up to. It'd be cool if if I could hear people talking, but I guess everybody would be talking over themselves. What's it? Anybody else doing anything fun? Yeah, so those 2 paver sealing estimates I did today, the one was the driveway was so big. And then the guy pretty much just said, hey man, I don't care what it costs. He doesn't want weeds growing through his cracks. And the problem is the guy who sealed it last time used a solvent-based sealer, and I use stuff that's water-based. It's better for our area. But basically, you got your solvent-based, it's like an oil, and then you got your water-based. And basically, all it is it's what's bringing the product to the brick. So water-based, the water brings it, the sealer, the poly to the brick, and then the oil-based, the oil's bringing the poly to the brick. The difference is the solvent-based it evaporates quicker and it's thinner than water, so it gets it further down in the brick, and that's why it gives you more of like a shiny look. The problem with that is in our area is with the moisture and the heat and the humidity, you're getting trapped moisture under the brick, and that's not good. So you got to use the water stuff, because essentially it's larger than the solvent and basically making like little pores so the brick can breathe. So, like I said, I don't do a lot of sealing. There's a lot that goes into it, especially prep work. But these are going to need to be stripped. Stripped, clean, sand, and sealed. So it's going to be pretty expensive. And gosh, I want to say it was definitely over 10,000 square feet, maybe 11,000, something like that. So you're looking at 20 plus thousand. So most people don't want to spend that, but he seemed like he would pay anything as long as the weeds aren't growing. And that's what the sand helps. You put the sand in the joints and seal up, kind of locks your sand and joints in place. There's a lot that goes into it. Honestly, like I said earlier, I'd rather just be cleaning the roofs. But there's a lot of money to be made, and why not? So. Yeah, living the dream. What's up, Bug? What's up, Grace? Grace under pressure. What's up, Christian? You've been working on content? Like what, for videos, Christian? Yeah, man. That's a good idea. If you ain't working, you should be taking all your before and after videos and pictures and maybe making some kind of ad for Facebook. And then, go on, make sure you do it on a laptop or a computer. Don't do it on your phone. When you go on the computer, you can really dive into the different, who you're targeting. And watch a couple videos on that. I've learned a lot from videos on Facebook ads, and it's, I don't really get much work from Facebook, but what I get is a lot of recognition and social proof, like building my social media and putting my work on there. So when people, like for instance, like it's almost like Google, where if somebody says they're going to do work for you, or whether it's like a tattoo or pizza, you're going to look this place up, check the reviews out, and Facebook's another place where people can kind of check seeing if you're legitimate. So running ads is good for getting a lot of likes and just action on your page, and it will lead to your website, which produces more calls. So it all works out. It's just like yard signs, you put a lot out, people will see you. But yeah, these in-person estimates, sometimes it kind of sucks driving all over, but it's worth it. And you can get a bigger ticket. Yeah, so Christian, what kind of content were you making? Nobody's got nothing, huh? Yeah, crickets is right. But yeah, I don't know. I just wanted to check in with you guys. Nobody's got any questions or anything. Usually people are, yo, what up? What up, Hamid? Doing this yeah, man, it sucks. I gotta drive all the way to this other job or this other estimate, but it's worth it in the end. Yeah, it's beautiful out today too. Yeah, last week I had that big ass job and it came out great. And the customer wasn't, I don't want to say he wasn't happy, he just kind of was being, nitpicking. So it was kind of irritating. But we did a good job, we got the money, we did out all right. I had to go back the next day, but still, I priced it so well that it, just, I was in the green. So I was happy about that. But yeah, sometimes you gotta take the good with the bad. That's the truth. It's not always fun. Man, I was telling you, I was like wanting to give it all up in my mind. I was like, he was getting me so irritated. People sometimes they just try to make you feel like a low life. And, I had people hand me thousands of dollars and I've had somebody give me a $300 tip on a $2,200 job and happily did it, smiling, saying thank you, thank you, thank you. And then you got people that like you give them a good price and it's only like $200-300 and they're like, they want to scrape every penny, from you, telling you, oh, I get somebody cheaper. It's like, listen, I'm not getting on your roof. And with the potential of falling off and, you could die. You could fall off a roof and die. And people want you to do it for nothing. It's insane. That's why you just gotta stick with it. Don't budge on your price. And I swear, it's always the people that ask you to come down. Oh, can you do any better? I guess it's in some people's nature, but I honestly think when it comes to service work, you don't do that kind of stuff. And a lot of people like to say, oh, this guy's this price. I don't know. For me, from my experience, it ain't worth it. In the end, those are the ones that always end up like screwing you or making your life difficult. Saying this ain't done, this ain't done. What's up, Invasion? Oh, what's up, Invasion? Yeah. Cecilio, it's all different, man. Like, I usually stay, like, I'm not crazy, or I'm not booked up weeks in advance. I'll go a week, sometimes in a week and a half, very occasionally 2 weeks booked. But, like, some days are just better than others. Like, I'll go a day where I'll book one job. I'll go a day where I'll book 6-7 jobs. I've done that. But I would say, I probably am around 2-3 jobs, on a good day. And, some days none. That's how I would say it. I'm sure you guys know how it is. Just some days it's all freaking spam marketers calling Google Home Advisor, or fake Google, not real Google, but saying they're affiliated with Google and Home Advisor. It's crazy. And then, I'll get a lot of referrals. I get a lot of referrals from people. That's why you got to make your customer happy. Like I was saying, you got to give them that little bit of extra. 5 minutes of your time. Hit their mailbox. clean a little bit of rust up, you know. Oh, I buy 20 pounds of oxalic acid at a time, 50 pounds of it at a time. Well, I keep at least 20 on the truck, and it takes 2 seconds. You take almost a pound of it, put it in a pump-up sprayer with some water, spray it on. You know, and I'm not talking about like a lot of rust stains that you want to charge for, but if it's a little rust stain, especially in like the front of the house or something like on their mailbox, something like that. Listen, if you're there making money and you're spending 5 extra minutes to clean up something, they'll remember that, you know, or they'll throw it in on a tip, or trust me, it's worth it. You don't want to try to, I don't know, I find it silly to charge somebody for a little small section of rust. Like if you're already doing it, unless they specifically ask like, hey, I got this rust all on this side of the house, yeah, you need to price that out. But nothing wrong with once in a while cleaning something, or that's how I am anyway. And I get a lot of referrals. People, you know, you just got to be nice. Now, some people just are never going to be pleased, but, you know, basically you want to go the extra mile. And they'll remember that. They'll always use you, and they'll always refer you. Always. All my biggest jobs are from referrals. It's just the way it is. You know, where I'm at in my company, you know, because I'm not spending thousands and thousands on Google a month for, you know, those #1 ad spots. I'm not doing it yet. I mean, maybe in the future, but so I'm sure a lot of big companies go right to them, but I get a lot of referrals and whatnot. Rocket it, guys. I'm back to staying that Yao Ming breaks over. Weston, where's Weston at? Over deliver, right, Mikey Bags. My website, I spent like $1,500 on my website. And then the proportioner, the actual proportioner is like, I don't know, $1,200 or something like that. But you can buy those black and white metering valves for $29 a piece on Amazon and a couple fittings, and you're in for maybe $200 on that cheap one. But I recommend getting those GF metering valves, which are about $120, $115 a piece. I guess some sites you can get them for a little less, I don't know. But you're looking at $230, you're looking at like $350 on the GF valves. I don't know, and another $100 for fitting. So you're looking around $400, $450. So you know, has to build your own. So it's up to you. I know, like Cody from Southeast Soft Wash, he builds the good valves. Like he'll build the proportioner or the mixing metering system, whatever you want to call it. He'll build them with the black and white ones, and then he also got the orange and gray ones, like the good GF valves. So I would hit him up, because I think his aren't, I want to say his, I don't know, don't quote me on this, but I think they're around $500, and that's not a bad deal considering you're talking $330, $350 just in the valves alone, plus another, let's see, $15 a piece for the check valves, maybe a little less. So you're talking, yeah, I would say you're looking at like $400 at least, maybe at minimum, to build that nice metering system. So I think he might sell for $500, maybe $450. I don't know, you gotta look it up on his website. But they're awesome. They're so much better than the black and white ones. I've had both. I still have the black and white one. I mean, it works, but just the knobs, it's just, you get a better mix ratio. You don't get leaks. You know, it's, and I know they're only $30 a piece, so maybe if you're just starting out, you can get a few months out of those black and white ones and then just replace them if they go out. They're only $30, so yeah. Gutters, when I clean them out, I'm around $1 a foot. You know, that's how I base it. And then you look at the pain in the ass factor. So like, if you see a single story home that you can knock out real quick, you could, you know, I would price it $1 per foot, but then subtract a little bit if it's going to be a simple job. And remind you, I'm in South Florida, so it's a little different. But I would say $1 a square foot, and then I know people go to $2 for the second story, $3 a foot, a linear foot, not square foot, linear foot. Sometimes people go to $3 for the hold on one second, just pulling in here real quick. But yeah, I recommend either building it yourself or, you know, maybe just ordering the one from Cody. I like building that. I'm more of a build it kind of myself kind of guy. What up, Ricky Rick? Yeah, so Caleb, it all depends, man. If you're, what are you talking about? A single story or two story? What's up, Ricky? Checking these comments out. But yeah, my website was $1,500, and then for SEO, he's about $550 a month. But he's the real deal. I mean, the guy who does this does it for a buddy of mine, and he owns a huge company out in Tennessee. It's not washing related, different type of company, and it's in the medical business. And he does all his organic SEO, ads, everything. But so he's the real deal. So this isn't the crap SEO where, you know, this stuff is going to produce, but it's expensive, you know, and $550 is my price. So he's probably around $650 on the low end a month. And then, I mean, I'm talking all the way up. I mean, people spend millions. I know people that spend millions a month in some of these businesses down here. I know a lot of people that are in like the medical field and the rehabilitation field, and they're spending millions. So also, you don't want to cheap out on a website. And here's another thing with the website. You want to own the website, because you just do. What if the person who you're paying, I don't know, whatever it is, like you see these deals on Facebook, like $40 a month. The only problem with that is, what if they jack your price up and you're a year or two in and your website, you love it, and then they jack the price up? You're kind of locked in. Like, you have to do what they say or else you lose the website. So it makes me weird. That's the kind of stuff I think about. But hey, everybody has their own thing, you know what I'm saying? What's everybody else up to today? The surface clean. Nice. 1,000 square foot. Hell yeah. Should knock that out real quick. Man, sometimes the comments are a pain in the butt sometimes, getting to them. But yeah, I mean, the whole point is, you want to, with estimates, you want to talk to the customer, and if you get time, go in person. I recommend that. You close more that way. And when you walk around the house, you get to see others. I don't know. trying to think of like a for instance, like mainly gutters. Gutters, like, you know how homes sometimes their gutters aren't too bad, and then sometimes they're like, holy crap, you know? It's almost at a point where you want to clean them for them while you're there doing the roof, or like you feel like you have to. So if you're doing an in-person estimate and you see that, you tell them, hey. And the thing is, for the way I'm doing roofs and the way I have my rinse systems down, like so I don't burn plants, it would be not really that hard to clean the gutter at that point. I mean, I'm already rinsing the gutter and a little bit of the roof anyway, because you don't want that stuff sitting in there. So I mean, literally most of the time with gutters, especially if they're just green, you just kind of get some of that mix on there, that hot mix, and it comes right off. But, you know, then there was some gutters that I had the other day that I had to literally use like a gutter cleaner. I used Gutter Grenade, and that was the only way. Like a 50-50 mix of SHs wasn't going to clean these gutters. You could still see those black tiger stripes, like they just, I don't know, it's kind of nasty looking, and they would not come out. And I busted out the Gutter Grenade, and it came off like butter. I know LA Awesome works too, but I had Gutter Grenade, so I was like, I haven't used it in a while, so I was like, I whipped it out and used it. And I didn't really measure, but it's only a couple ounces to a gallon. And I mean, that stuff, it's funny, I actually had to touch it up. The one spot took the paint right off, and I just took a little bit of, just touched it up real quick. No harm done. But yeah, you gotta be careful with that. But I would say, I don't know, I'll check the bottle out for you, but it's like 4 ounces to a gallon, something like that. But yeah, I keep a lot of chemicals on the truck, a lot of different chemicals, because some chemicals, I don't know, even if it's the same type of chemical, like Gutter Grenade and LA Awesome, people use LA Awesome for gutters. Sometimes LA Awesome don't work, or vice versa, you know. LA Awesome's pretty good though. And then I keep Snotminade, and I always keep raw. Right? I always keep raw sodium hydroxide on the truck, and I always keep raw oxalic on the truck, and I keep some F9 bark. And I got that on the truck, and then I got some aluminum brightener, and then I got some what's that other F9 product, gosh, I can't think of it, not F-Flow, Groundskeeper. But yeah, like I said, everything has its own use for something else. But alright guys, I'm about to go do this estimate. Anybody got any other questions while I'm on? Do. Weston. I think Weston, Florida he's talking about. But yeah, so make sure if you got time, especially if you're not doing a job every day, I recommend taking your time on the job. If you have a helper, have him do the 5-rounds. Everybody knows about the 5-rounds. Hand out the 5-rounds, and then take your time, do a good job, over deliver, do a little something extra for them, and you know, do your estimates in person, because you get a better close rate. Absolutely automatically get a better close rate. As long as you're professional and you show up, like, you know, like today I wear my collared shirt for my estimates in person most of the time. But yeah, they get to see you, feel you out, you know, have a little, you know, small talk with them, And then this way they feel comfortable and they know they can put a face to who it is. They know sometimes if they don't know, they get a little worried, especially if you're giving them, if you're pricing out, something that's like $1,000 or above, man. They want to know who you are and know that you're doing a good job. A lot of people screw things up for us, man. They burn bushes, and everybody I talk to down here is always worried about their plants. That's why, I have the system set in place, and when I send them the estimate, it's all in there. They get happy about that. Hey, man, if you feel like you should be charging more, charge more. That's the way it is. You want to be charging to the point where you might feel like you're too high, because that's better than being on a job knowing you charge too little, and it's the worst thing in the world. And it's one of those things you're only going to do like once or twice. I've been there, man. It's not cool. So charge accordingly. Like I said, the pain in the ass factor plays a big role in it. And then again, that's back to the same reason why in-person estimates are better. You close more and you can see what the hell's going on. If you price it on Google Earth and you get there and you realize it's going to be a pain in the ass and you realize that you didn't charge enough, man, that's not fun. I've been there. That's not fun. So if you got the time, you better be doing these in-person estimates, and then consider the pain in the ass factor. Because if something's a little more difficult because they're say their roof pitch is super steep and you can't walk the roof, that automatically right there, the price is going up. Instead of having to move the ladder, really with the gutter cleaning, it's probably the most safe to do it from the ladder. So, but if it's a steep roof or a really high roof, or it's like a split, split level home, or half the basement's outside and it's on a slope, so when you go to the second story you're really 3 stories up, that's another pain in the ass factor. So you got to pay attention to that stuff. That stuff makes the price go up, that's for sure. And if you don't feel like you're where's it snowing at? Where are you at, MTA? Where are you at, MTH? Just bid 8 buildings, 24 units. Snowing right now. Where are you at? In up northeast? I think you might have told me, I forget though. Ohio, yeah. I seen on the news they're doing record-breaking, they're having record-breaking snowfall for May, which I'm sure is not too much. But still, the fact that it's snowing in May, that's crazy. Yeah, Mike, so when you do your estimates, you do it in person, right? When you can, because that's how we're talking about, that's how you close more. But yeah, man, I hope you get it. So 8 buildings, 24 units. So that would be, what would that be? That would be, man, 6 units, or 6 units per building, right? No. Let's see, 24 units, 8 buildings. No, it'd be 3 units per building. Are they single story, or is it a 2-story thing, or is it a 3-story thing? What's it look like? Mike, 3 per building. Yeah, but is it 1 story or 2-story? Are there units on top of each other, or are they all kind of in one? I don't know. Oh, okay, dual. Are you just washing the buildings, or you got the roofs, flat work, and all that too? Yeah, I'm not saying you're asking for advice, but the best advice somebody gave me was anytime you're doing a big building, you just got to look at it if you're used to doing 1,800 square foot roofs and 3,000 square foot roofs, if you get a big ass you know, 50,000 square foot roof. You just got to think of it as, you know, you're doing 50 small roofs. You know, you can't overcomplicate it. Maybe just, you know, you don't even need to bring down the price. Just price it what you normally and multiply it, you know, by, like you said, 24 units. So multiply it by 24. What would you charge for clean one of those units, and then times it by 24? Obviously, I'm not saying you need advice, but that's just good advice somebody's told me, so you don't get overwhelmed. Because I know me, I used to get overwhelmed. I still do, actually. I get overwhelmed, man. I overthink, I overanalyze, I overreact. But when I just step back and take a look at what I'm doing, it's really not difficult. It's actually, I love it. So, I mean, if you guys get that, it's normal. But yeah. Anyway, I got to get rolling, guys. Nice chatting with you, Mike. Hope you're doing well, brother. Everybody else, same to you. Good chatting with you guys. Caleb, yeah, if you think it's not price enough, I would price more, man. I know what you mean, though. Or it's, you know, maybe it's just not worth it for you. Maybe target roofs and house washing, you know. I'm not saying to turn down gutter jobs, but just target the other ones, you know. Sometimes it ain't worth going after something so much if it's not paying you as well. And sometimes you don't know the answer to what you got to go after until you start doing it more and more, and you start seeing what works and what doesn't. Yo, what's up, Wild West? Yeah, nah, you're not late, man. It's just beginning. Nah, I'm kidding. I'm about to get off, but yeah, man, we're just talking about in-person estimates. You can watch it, but yeah, guys, hope everybody is out there killing it, man. Just remember, this shit beats flipping burgers at McDonald's. Bro, think about that for a minute. And I'm not bashing anyone that's worked there. I've worked at McDonald's. But these people, man, they work all crazy hours, you know, barely getting 40 hours a week. Seems like you're working all the time. And then you're getting like $200. Not even 200. You're getting like 3 something every 2 weeks, man. Think about that. So when you get discouraged, think about that. There's people getting up at 4 a.m. to go flip McMuffins, and they're not even breaking 200 a week after taxes. We can get up, literally work for 1 hour, and get what they get paid in like a week or two. It's crazy. And I know that's not enough, but I'm just saying, think about that. Think about what people have to go through. So if you're having a hard time, or if you're working 2 jobs, or you're working a full-time job and doing this on the side, put money away, save, try to build the, you know, a nice rig with what you got. Don't go too elaborate. Just make sure you got yourself something dependable. Maybe get a little backup. Get yourself a couple 12 volts. And that's, you know, rinse out after, and you'll be good. And then when you go full-time, you can start upgrading. But just think about the people that get up and go to work every day and they make nothing. It's crazy. So, you know, like when I had a bad day last week, the money I made that day, and even having to go back for a couple hours the next day, and it's funny, like I had, in that moment, I was having such a rough time, but then I thought about it, like, man, it could be so much worse. So anyway, let me get rolling, guys. Nice chatting with you. Hope everybody's staying safe out there. I'll catch you next time. Thank you for the support, guys. Make sure you give it a like if you can. Give the video a like, and then I'll catch you guys next time. I appreciate everybody's support, and get out there, man. Oh, stop video. Crap.